friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for the podcaster who's here to keep you company, really. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you can fall asleep. Mostly I'll be doing that by goofing around and getting mixed up. But right now I have, I guess, a piece of lucidity. Instead of silent lucidity, did I just say lupidity? And I got, this is a podcaster. I'm pretty sure my brain said, wait a second. I think you meant to say lucidity, but then you wondered if you knew what the definition of lucidity was. And then you said lupidity. And I say, well, but I feel like something that rhymes with lupidity right now, but it's still time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. All right, everybody, Scoots here. I'm back with another episode of our episodically modular series. Because I said episode twice in one sentence. Our episodically modular series, Tales of Lady Witchbeard. It does have a touch of seriality, but I'm going to take the seriality out of it right now and tell you everything you need to know. And this will be, if this is your first episode, then all the other episodes are prequels. Or you say, oh, it's like, it's where you can kind of listen to them in any order. Whether you're awake or asleep, or half awake or half asleep, or 3/4 or 1/4 or 1/8. Or if we're on the metric system, I'd say, well, I'm even more confused now. So the Tales of Lady Witchbeard are the tales of Lady Witchbeard. She's a pirate and she's a witch. And she's a heroine out there and an adventurer. And she has a sidekick named Daw, who could be very similar to old Scoots, who follows her around, learning from her, adventuring with her. They also have another companion currently, Don Dankle, who was was a full-fledged pirate. This story takes place in the realm of the 13 seas. So not in our world, a more sea-based realm. If you were a pirate, you'd say it's a pirate realm. And you say, are there a lot of witch pirates? I say, nope, Lady Witchbeard's the only one that I know about that I remember currently. And she was originally from a witch realm, a witch world. I don't know the difference between worlds and realms, but witch world has a better alliteration. And she was growing up, I think from my memory, she worked on a place that made some ingredients for spells. And everybody had their own, even within a realm, like suddenly we'd be like, oh, what's our realm? But you'd kind of have to be outside your realm to realize you're in a realm. Maybe. But she was in her own little niche within the witch world, but she said, this isn't for me. And at first she said, well, it's just not, whatever, mortal and pedestal or pestle or whatever. I'm not into that. But then something happened and she got exposed to another world, the pirate realm. She said, this is what I'm about. I'm about this adventuring on the high seas. And so she buckled her swash and headed to this realm and ruled there for a long time. I mean, ruled in not as a monarch, but just kind of like, whoa, Lady Witchbeard rules. Like you'd say if you were in the 80s and she was skateboarding. She doesn't skateboard. That's just an example. So that's a normal existence of Lady Witchbeard before she met me. Then she met old Scoots, a.k.a. Daw. And then she went on a mistaken adventure trying to, in another very similar universe to ours with Hernan Cortez, trying to teach him the perils of colonization with an edge. But that didn't work. I don't know how it worked out, but I ended up getting scattered across multiple universes. So then Lady Witchbeard had to go collect me and reassemble me. That was never recorded. None of that. That was like not because it wasn't a official adventure. It was kind of a sidetrack she didn't want to be on. She was just obligated by our friendship. And, she chooses to do, even though she might not brag about it, she does what's right. So she collected me from all these universes. This didn't happen in any season. Then she needed a big break because she said, and she also needed a break from me. And that went on for a while, but then I kind of got antsy. I said, man, I miss adventuring with Lady Witchbeard. I'm speaking as a character now, you know what I'm saying. And eventually she had had enough R&R. Also, her whatever pirate clearance had run out, and she needed to get a certified as a pirate. And actually it went so long that they said, nope, you're going to have to go back to being an apprentice to a journey to a pirate or something. And Lady Witchbeard said, no way, I'm going to be on a mission to find Brandy, the woman who loved the man who loved the sea. That was kind of my part. I said, what about this song Brandy? It's a fine song. We could, we could find out what a good life it would be or whatever. And she said, okay, this does sound interesting, and it kind of goes with a myth. So we went out to find Brandy in the world of the 13 Seas. Very quickly, we got sidetracked because Don Dankle from the Pirates Guild came and got Lady Witchbeard and said, you're supposed to be my apprentice to requalify to be a pirate, and I go by the guild rules. You have to go by the guild rules. And Lady Witchbeard wasn't super happy about it, but she said, well, it is the guild rules, so unfortunately, okay. Then we got further sidetracked because we were still kind of questing to see Brandy, but Don Dankle wanted to do some pirate stuff. And we found out that something weird was happening, that there was this root that was more valuable than gold, and everyone was moving all the mining equipment to mine this root of a plant or a tree. And Don Dankle was still like, well, we got to do pirate stuff. Let's figure out something else. We were kind of also using Brandy's song as guidance. So whatever. We were trying to figure out finding Brandy and Don Dankle's agenda of the Pirates Guild. Also, a lot of times we were trying to trick Don Dankle. I apologize, Don Dankle. Then we found out the Pirates Guild was gone. And I guess Don Dankle and Lady Witchbeard found out that Brandy was wanted by the Pirates Guild when it was functional. Not sure why. They never showed me the poster, or maybe they did and I just didn't read it. And, of course, at various points along the way, we lost a Lady Witchbeard ship. Then we lost a Don Dankle's ship. Then we were shipless while we were trying to get to the bottom of what was happening. Also, I also spilled a lot of information to Brandy because, I'm not good at keeping secrets. So Brandy took Don Dankle's ship, maybe another ship, and all the pirates, like both our crew and another crew of pirates that I had also showed a magical map to. This was all on Library Island. Good news, everything's good on Library Island because we left. Then we headed to this place I thought was going to be like the Bermuda Triangle, but it turns out it was just very foggy and very narrow. We discovered there that another ingredient they were in search of, which in very small amounts they only needed, that existed on some sort of, what is that called? Not a crevasse, a ravine that was like touched by the fog. One part of the rock, some certain rock that was touched by the fog so many hours a day. Something about it. They needed that, whatever it was just at one place, but they didn't need a lot of it. They just needed buckets of it. Also, during that time, Lady Witchbeard got captured. She was in bird form, and Don Dankle and I were in frog form. We were frogs, essentially. And so Don Dankle and I, we hid in buckets of muck, whatever this muck, rock, sand, mud, whatever they're collecting. They were collecting buckets of it. Then this part didn't get recorded, but because it's even more boring. We hid in the muck. They put it in a hold on the ship, an open hold where they could dry the muck. And it was closed off. For the longest time, the door was shut. So Don Danko and I just kind of hung out there. Good news is if you're a frog, you can be in an open hold because flies still go down. That's something you eventually adjust to, or I did. I don't think Don Danko ever adjusted to it, being a frog and, being a frog practicing, having 3 squares a day. Or, you don't. You frog, you kind of just, your brain kind of all just happens. Fly goes by. Next thing you know, you're satiated or whatever. Till the next time you say, well, so I don't know if it's part of your amphibian brain. So Don Danko and I, were basically in the hold of a ship hanging out, and that's more or less where we are right now. But first, our first full return when we're recording this in person, and we're going to, now the good thing is I already practiced distancing because they say you got to be quiet, man. And I said, what do you your hair's so silky, it makes it jingles like I imagine ice would, in heaven. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to play a little, chrononauts, and hang out and drink some tea and just have, but first he has to remain perfectly still. After he records this, he needs to remain perfectly still for about 74 minutes or so without making a sound or breathe. He can breathe, just not loudly. Hollywood, people from Hollywood breathe loudly. Well, the only person I know from Hollywood is the person who's would happy to present our Hollywood announcer, Mr. Antonio Banderas. The ladies, the gentlemen, the boys, the girls, the friends beyond the binary. It's time to set sail on a tale of Lady Witchbeard. Whoosh, yeah. Wow, that's worth it. That's worth every creaky elbow you have. Also, maybe, can you cut down on the blinking, too? I don't know if it's my imagination. Probably is my imagination, because there's other times. Are you ever around other times? Because they say, is that Antonio Banderas blinking? Is that what that sound I'm hearing is? But it could just be like the sound of my own heartbeat. I mean, when you blink, my heart beats anyway. But this is, that's Mr. Antonio Banderas, and this is the Tales of Lady Witchbeard. Okay, so let me go over the plan as you explained it to me, Don Danko. They have started coming into the hold and stirring up the muck because parts of it are dry, but parts of it aren't. And they kind of seem like they're doing some sort of sieving it into a powder. And then they put one of those burlap sacks over that. So we're going to wait for a person to come in. And then we're going to climb into their pockets. Okay. And then we're going to stay in their pockets for a while and see where we go. And try to get into the pockets of the person who goes up the crow's nest. I guess that makes sense because we'll be in the mess hall. We should be able to, as long as, what if the person comes in and they don't have they do have pockets. Okay. It's a good thing we could communicate by power of the mind. That's handy as frogs. Okay, Don Danko. Yeah. Oh, while they're leaning over. Okay. Wow. We're in the same pot. I thought we were going to get in different pockets. Okay. Well, so we're here in the pocket. Oh, wait, that person's getting called back. Okay. Oh, boy, this is rocky. It's kind of nice. Should we fall? Oh, I'm falling asleep, Don Danko. You're already asleep just listening to me have casual. I'm waking back up now. Okay. We are in the mess hall. Okay, so Don Dankel, hey, so you're listening to these, I've been listening to the conversation, you've been silent, what have you heard? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were silently listening. Okay, Daw. So if we go under this table and go 2 tables over, you have to follow me. And we just got to be careful and stay low. We can't get caught. I know the person who's next on shift in the crow's nest, and that is where they're keeping Lady Witchbeard. They said a perfect spot for a crow, according to Brandy. And I've been listening to other things, but we need to go now. So just start following. Okay, Daw. Keep following me. I'm going to keep having to look. It's hard for a frog to look backwards. Yeah, why don't you keep, actually, Daw, normally this would get on my nerves, but if you keep bumping into my rear end, yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's go between these two. Okay, wow, great job, Daw. You're really good at, whatever, frog, running into a frog's rear. Okay, so now we're going to, okay, see these boots? Yeah, these greenish ones. That's the person. You're right. We could, I didn't realize these boots do have an extra thing. I guess that's to catch, so we could just climb up under here. There is a little bit of, these boots are almost like a hat. Okay, so we're under the boots. We're each under a separate boot. Now, Daw, remember to hang on, because now we're getting up, and now we're going up some stairs, and then the person's drinking some water. Very good. They have good, Brandy runs, I don't think Brandy's ever been a member of the guild, but she does seem to follow a lot of the guild protocols, which is good. So, yeah. So, okay. So let's see. So, okay. Now it feels like this pirate is climbing up to the crow's nest. Oh, go ahead, Daw. So what's our plan once we get up to the crow's nest, Don Dankel, to set Lady Witchbeard free? Okay, but won't how are we going to do that if the pirate's up in the crow's nest? Wait, hold on, Daw. The pirate's greeting the other pirates, and they're switching. Wow, they even switch harnesses. So they unharness one and then they harness the other. This Brandy, I'm impressed. Okay, the other pirate is going down. So, we should start talking to Lady Witchbeard, but she can't, shouldn't she be able to talk to us, Daw? Yeah, that's Don Dankel. I think the first thing we need to do is deal with the pirates and then figure out, make visual contact with Lady Witchbeard, but I think we should have a plan because I've had so many experiences without a plan or making assumptions, kind of seems like you did. Oh, we'll just rescue her. And I think you're very good at, sort of kind of figure, you're good at some stuff that I'm not good at, Don Dankel. In a different way than Lady Witchbeard, though Lady Witchbeard, no offense, is, superior to both of us. And that, not even with her ability to practice witchcraft, that's just a bonus. But so, we should deal with this. We're going to have to deal with the pirate somehow. Okay, Daw. Well, I don't know what to do. I mean, we could... At first, I was thinking we could try to, have the pirate slip on one of us, but that wouldn't be a good idea for whoever got slipped on. And I don't know. You seem to be very good at, weren't you doing something the whole time when I was trying to think of all the plans? What were you doing? Us practicing flicking my tongue against stuff because there used to be this, I already told you this, Don Danko, there used to be this thing, there used to be a toy, like it was a sticky thing with, I know you don't have elastic or slime or any of that kind of stuff, but it was like a frog's tongue. I mean, it was marketed that way, but it was also like I used to imagine that, and sometimes I would, you don't, yeah, so turns out a frog's tongue is different, but it is similar. Like we talked about, my expectations were wrong, but, so yeah, I was flicking my tongue against stuff, or like I was practicing. I mean, it did at first. I mean, we were down there so long. It was so boring. I made a lot of different competitions and games, frog tongue Olympics. Okay, dog, let's just, what could you use your tongue to do with the pirates? Well, the pirate had, like, water. You said something. Oh, that's it. What if you flick the pirate's hat off its head, and then they would have to go down and get their hat, because that must be one of the protocols Brandy has is, practicing proper protection from the sun. Okay, I think I could do that. You stay put, Don Dankle. I'm going to hop out here. Okay, I'm on the shoe, and now I'm going to hop up here. Good, Don Dankle, you should probably, I forgot, you should stay in the center. When you get off the shoe, just stay in the center of the platform, okay? Okay, Don, thank you. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to try to flick it. This could be tough, but I think if I could Don Dankle, I got the pirate, I missed the hat, and I poked the pirate in the pirate's eye. Okay, dog. Okay, I tried again, and I did. Now the pirate is saying, can you hear that? I can't believe I just got, what's a frog doing up here? Now the pirate's hat did fall. The pirate says they have to go to the eye wash station, so they have to climb back down. Oh, no, okay, they're yelling. They have to be belayed back down or something. And so they can wash their eye out from frog goop. And it seems to be a big to-do. Okay, and the pirate's getting lowered down very slowly. So we probably only have so much time. So, Don Dankle, you stay. Oh, you jumped. Good thing you jumped out of that boot. I didn't even notice. Oh, hey, Lady Witchbeard, can you hear us? No. Lady Witchbeard's shaking her bird head. No. Lady Witchbeard is okay, I'm assuming you're muted. Okay. Lady Witchbeard's muted somehow. And, okay, it's a bird-proof, thing, latch, but it's not frog-proof, so this shouldn't take me long. Lady Witchbeard, we don't have, Don Dankle, we didn't come up with a plan after we set Lady Witchbeard free. And the pirate's going to be up here soon. Oh, boy. So, oh boy, we got to think on our frog feet now. Oh, you know what, Don Dankle? I see a basket coming up with extra set of glasses and a hat. They must have some sort of, they said, oh, let's keep extra hat and glasses up here now. So if we jump in that basket as it comes up, we could get back down. Lady Witchbeard, I'm guessing that they're not keeping an eye on your latch because they're assuming it's bird-proof, and I think they probably just think we're an annoying frog. So we're going to hide in the basket, hopefully, and then jump off. And Don Dankle, oh, yeah, why don't you unlock Lady Witchbeard's cage? Lady Witchbeard, we will go back down. And we will hide in the, we'll go back to the hold with the mud in it, because you can fly back down at night, and then we'll go from there. Okay, does that sound like a good plan? Okay, you're unlocked, Lady Witchbeard, but it looks like the cage is still locked, so you should be able to just kick that cage open once night falls, we're going to jump in this basket. And Don Dangle, once we're like about halfway down, I think we should jump into the hold because we know that the muck's going to catch us. Hop into the hold. Don Dangle, once we get a little lower, we should hop in that. Okay. Oh, follow me, Don Dangle. Ooh, that muck feels good after being out in the sun and stuff. This is a little bit like I would have wished a mud bath would be like. Okay, so that's feeling good, Don Dangle. Oh, boy. Oh, wait, Lady Witchbeard, are you waking us up? Oh, you can talk now. Hey, Lady Witchbeard. Yes, Don Dangle, I can speak now. That was a magical cage. It was blocking my ability to communicate or use any magic. Here, it's late in the night, early in the morning. It's a little bit before the next shift change. We need to change out of these disguises and gather some of this muck and some of the root, which is probably stored in the next hold over. And we're about to approach the Isthmus of Newts, known as Newt Island, even though it's just an isthmus with newts, largest concentration of newts. Some of this I heard. Lady Witchbeard, I heard it as well. I was going to tell Daw all this. That's where they're going to collect all the Newtie Poo. And also, Lady Witchbeard, Brandy has some sort of big meeting tomorrow at dawn, or today at dawn. So we have a few hours on the Isthmus of Newt, or Newt Island. The pirates call it Newt Island, but I guess it's because they're landing in a port, and everything's kind of a port or an island. But you're correct, Lady Witchbeard. It is the Isthmus of Newt Isthmus, or Isthmus of Newts. And again, it is a very rare place, even within the 13 seas. It's just a high concentration of these certain newts. I assume that's the Newtie Poo that they're looking for. And they'll dock there and collect the Newt Poo. So, Lady Witchbeard, what are you thinking? Okay, this is interesting. I don't know where Brandy got a magical bird cage from. And I want to know who Brandy's meeting. Did they say anything else? Yeah, some of the pirates were arguing who was really in charge, Brandy or who Brandy was meeting. Like, who's giving the real orders. They were arguing back and forth and laughing. Who were they laughing at? Well, they're imagining someone trying to boss Brandy around. I guess it seems like Brandy runs a tight ship. Yes, I noticed the same thing, Don Dangle. So Lady Witchbeard, what's the plan? I mean, Dawn and I have done pretty well on our own, but we're a team again. So I think we gather those two ingredients. So we get some Newtie Poo. And we figure out what they're trying to make. I mean, we can only guesstimate things. We'll just take one of the rowboats. We'll cut the line, make it look like it drifted away. And eventually they'll know I'm gone, but they'll, just assume I flew away or something. But, yeah, let's go and collect this Newtie Poo, figure out what it is, if those are the only three ingredients, and what your readings showed you, Don Dangle, and then see if we could find out where Brandy is meeting this person and figure that out. Sounds good, Lady Witchbeard. Oh, okay, so we're back in human form, and we're following you, and Daw's not talking. Oh, I guess I'm just going to barely talk. We're already in the rowboat. Lady Witchbeard's getting the ingredient. Okay, you did get the ingredient. Okay, so we're going to row ashore. Everybody's, okay, we'll take turns resting. Okay, hey, Don Dangle, it's time to wake up. We got to go, We're beaching the boats. Oh, thanks, Duh. I fell asleep there while I was talking. Yeah, no one could hear you. I think you were just talking inside your own head, though. Luckily, you were still used to frog talking. Now we're actually talking with our voices. Oh, lady, okay. Okay, Lady Witchbeard, go ahead. All right, I want the two of you. I don't know how we're going to find Newtie Poo in the dark. This is not good. Because I don't even know, I don't even know what Newtie Poo would look like in the wild. I mean, we carried it. I mean, I've seen dry, like usually we would sell it. Newtie Poo was dried Newtie Poo, but a large amount of it collected. Don Dankel, what else do you know about this Isthmus of Newts? Lady Witchbeard, I don't know much else about. Excuse me, Don Dankel, Lady Witchbeard, I don't mean to interrupt, but I don't want to brag. And I don't know any of the differences between salamanders and newts, but there was a time in my life where I would go and look at salamanders, and I never knew why I didn't do it more often, other than one time my toe was, like I would you'd have to lift up a heavy flat rock in the woods, and if you did that, sometimes there'd be salamanders under there, and you could look at them. And so I think I could probably find a newt. And then, more good news, sometimes I would hold the salamanders, also like I would hold toads and frogs. And invariably, and understandably from their perspective, even though it's very gentle and kind, and I would talk to them in baby talk, they would go and leave me a present in their hands. Sometimes a present one, sometimes if you give them enough time, though, and I talk to them in baby talk enough, maybe I'm just comforting them so much they say, oh boy, let me just let this go. Okay, Daw, I like that idea. And then maybe, let me see what I can think up here. Maybe you could talk to the newt in a basic way. Don't overcomplicate things, Daw. Actually, we'll tell you, okay, Lady Witchbeard, I found a newt already. Unless it's a salamander that lives on an Isthmus of Newts. Okay, Daw, here, I'm going to rub your mouth with this feather. Ask it if it's a newt. Hey, are you a newt? Oh, cool. Okay, I'm sorry. I was going to ask your name, but I know Lady Witchbeard and Don Danko want me to. Well, don't worry. If you want to, here's the thing. If you want to go number 2 or number 1 in my hand, you can, because it's probably weird to get and talked to by a human. There's probably not even that many. You know, I'm a human. Okay. Oh, what's number 2? Ooh, how do I explain that? Oh, good. So we're looking, Lady Witchbeard, Don Dankel, could you help me? This would be your area, Daw. I think you can handle it. Okay, so anyway, do you mind if I call you Newtie? Okay, cool. Newtie, I'm Daw. Oh, those are, let's get back to number 1 and number 2. So do you get most of your water through your skin? Because I was a frog once. Or your moisture, yeah. Do you also kind of drink water from stuff? Okay. Yeah, so when the water goes through your body and your body does the body stuff and takes the water and whatever, does the water leaves your body at some point, right? And do you feel relaxed when that happens? Yeah, so that we call number 1 in the human world, or pee-pee. Oh, you call it whiz. That's something we call, that's funny. I wonder if that's some sort of, so newt whiz. Oh yeah, you don't need a newt whiz. I don't need any newt whiz. Thank you. So number 2 then, can you get where I'm going? Oh, yeah, that's it. That's number 2 right there. It's very, tar-like, no problem. Oh, wait, Lady Witchbeard and Don Dankel do have some, I forgot to, you are a newt, though, not a salamander. Okay, go ahead, Lady Witchbeard. Well, where do they go to where? Oh, thanks. So listen, Nudie, do you go to the bathroom under rocks or just in the grass or down in the ocean or the sea? What, you just made a scoffing sound. Oh, you have community bathrooms. Yeah. Why, of course. So, okay. So wait a second. So all the newts on Newt Isthmus, okay. All your neighbor newts, you all use the same place to go. Okay. That's what we do too. Somewhat. Oh, okay, like at the edge. Oh, so then the rain washes it into the sea. Okay. So can you show us where those are maybe later? Because okay. Can I do you mind hanging in my pocket or something just so I could talk to you later? Yeah, no, there's some crumbs in there. Oh, okay. All right. So, Lady Witchbeard, Don Dankle, did that all make sense? Yeah, duh. So, okay, so I have this bowl here. Okay, so we have the roots. And from what we're seeing from what they're gathering, I think the root is going to be, this ground root is going to be the largest ingredient. So I have about a third of the bowl filled with roots, and it's ground and dried. And then I'm going to just use a little bit of this, whatever, fog rock, we'll call it. And I'm going to use about a third of what we have of the root. So a third of that. I'm just guessing based on some basic alchemy I did back in my other world. But the other thing is it could be that the Newtie Poo, well, let's just take it. It actually is a substantial amount. That's about a third too. So the Newtie Poo right now and that are equal ingredients, and the root is the majority. And let me just try to mix it together. And it's just kind of all gummed up with, is anybody seeing this? Don Dankel, where'd dog go? Lady Witchbeard, he went to wash his hand in the ocean because he said he was a little bit grossed out by having nudie pee-pee whiz and poo-poo on his hands. I thought he only had on one hand. He rubbed his hands together and then he tried to comb. I think he's going to go, he's coming back. He's soaking wet, Lady Witchbeard. Okay, before he gets here, this is not doing anything, except making some sort of muck. We're like missing an ingredient. Oh, wait a second. Dog, come over here. Sorry, Lady Witchbeard. I got some nudie doo in my hair, or Newtie Poo, or whatever it is. Okay, drip some seawater into the bowl. Okay, now something's happening. Keep dripping, Lady Witchbeard, what's happening? Okay, let me stir it up here. There's some sort of alchemical reaction happening. Lady Witchbeard, it looks like it's... Lady Witchbeard, did you ever have Jello jigglers before? Let me just keep stir. It's getting harder to stir. It's getting thicker. It's turning into from viscous to... I don't know. I've never seen this before because that was sandy. And now it's kind of a smooth... gelatinous, Lady Witchbeard, that's what, it's, wow, I can't even, look at that, I can poke it, and I can kind of break it with the stirrer. Yeah, Lady Witchbeard, that's like a Jello jiggler. Okay, doll, what's a Jello jiggler? Please tell us. Well, but that's made of Newtie Poo and seawater. Okay. So, but what's a Jello jiggler? We didn't Jello jiggler's like a treat. So it wouldn't be made, it's usually made from like a powder, water, And I think you need some sort of like a gelatin or something. Oh, so some sort of yeah. Okay, dog. We've had those kind of dishes, but this is not meant to be eaten, though. What could be the possible value of this substance? I'm confused. Don Dankel, do you have anything? Lee Witchbeard, I do not, but I see that the sun is about to break the horizon. And if we climb up to that higher, that peak up there, I mean, there's another peak further west than where we docked, but we should be able to see Brandy exit the ship, and we would still be in darkness. Okay, well, yeah, let's go. Well, we think about what would they be doing with this jello jigglers, I guess. I am stumped. Okay, so there's Brandy. She is walking towards the shore. She's looking in the sky for a bird to make sure I'm not watching. And she's proceeding. Oh, it looks like the pirates kind of already created something. Lady Witchbeard, is that, that's like a big pot, like almost like a witch's cauldron. Is she going to make stone soup or something? I don't know, maybe she's making a big batch of this, but then it would be stuck in the cauldron. I don't know, Daw. She's sending the pirates off, and they're going further away. Oh, some of them have boats. They're looking in the sky for me, and they're kind of guarding the path, but they're further along. She's all alone now. She doesn't seem to be mixing anything in there, Lady Witchbeard. Yeah, you're right about that, Don Dankel. But she is putting her hand in there. What do you think she's doing, Lady Witchbeard? I don't know. Wait a second. There's some... Oh, no. Lady Witchbeard, what is it? There's steam coming out of there. Do you think that's... there's no fire, though. Is that like from a fog machine or something? No, it's not. This is not possible. What's not possible, Lady Witchbeard? Oh, Lady Witchbeard, look, somebody's rising out of the steam there. Wait a second, looks like is that, Lady Witchbeard, do you know, is that like an animatronic? Like, is this for decoration? I've always wanted to buy one of these, for the trick-or-treating season. I guess for a witch, though, that might kind of seem diminutive. Because that looks just like a witch. It is a witch. She's kind of like a purplish blue, though, not green. Yeah, dog, that's a witch of legend. This just isn't possible. We're gonna have to go back down the hill, though. We can't watch any further, unfortunately. Don Dankel, I'm just wondering why not, Lady Witchbeard. If that's who I think it is, she'll know we're there. We have to be out of the line of sight, all of us. Let's just come down this hill a bit. We're far enough away, as long as we're out of the line of sight of that cauldron. Lady Witchbeard, you kind of seem surprised to stunned. I am. I can't. Okay, Lady Witchbeard, just take a few breaths here. You said that was a witch of legend. What legend is that? So that's not one of your contemporaries. I mean, it looked a lot like a witch from our myths that was also historically real. You know, Don Danko, we've had these conversations when Daw hasn't been around, but, when myth and history kind of... but she was a conqueror of, it really created, in a similar way to the piracy guilds, it created the Great Witch Unity in our world. And hundreds and hundreds of years of peace among witches. But yeah, she ruled in this time that was a very distant past from world, like... So I've learned not to say anything is impossible. Could be an illusion, but my sense was that it wasn't an illusion. And that was oh, sorry, Don Danko, you might not know. It's very rare, and I've tried to keep people, I've never taught any of this to anyone in the pirate realm, and I very rarely connect to the witch world, but cauldron casting is what we were watching happen, and she may have been casting a cauldron from a witch realm. I didn't think it was possible, though, to cast it from another time in history into this world. Okay, Lady Witcher, let me repeat things back to you with a who, what, why, where, and how. Because things just seem to be getting more confusing than less. If we say, yes, who, a witch conqueror of worlds has come into our realm to meet with Brandy. What are they doing? Talking about something, but we can't listen in because it'd be too risky. What else are they doing? Collecting ingredients to form some sort of some gel. Yeah, some gel with seawater and these other ingredients. And what we don't know, but Lady Witchbeard, if you say what you're saying is true, then the what, the what is unknown, yeah, then we have to stop it, Don Danko. Lady Witchbeard, Don Danko, it's just me here. Newtie, like, we could talk to Newtie. Okay, Daw. You're right, Daw. If we can ask Newtie how many community toilets there are. There's only 3, Lady Witchbeard. Okay, so so can Newtie show us where the 3 are? Maybe we could just flush them out to the sea. Or, wait a second, I might have enough ingredients if we could turn them into gel now. I don't think the gel can be deconstituted. Okay, Lady Witchbeard, this is one community toilet here. I'll squeeze my shirt into it while you put, okay. Yeah, it's gelatining up. We're going to have, I don't know, we're not going to have enough to do all 3. We'll do the next one. Okay, it's just over here, Lady Witchbeard. Okay. And I'm going to squeeze my pants into this one. Okay, that one is gelatined up. Okay, the last one, we don't have any more. We're going to have to wash it out to see. Okay, we could just, I think if we loosen, see if we go down on that side, we could just push it. We'll have to push it. We're going to have to, all 3 of us push the Newtie Poo. Like, okay, like, yeah, this is not pleasant, but okay, we're pushing it into the sea, and it's gone. And is Newtie, like, oh, and now the dawn's broken, and the sun's rising above us, but we'll have to all the newts are coming out. Can you ask Newtie what's happening? Newtie said that it's time to, most newts get up, and this is their community. They actually have kind of a casual community conversation. They use the bathroom in a social way, but all their bathrooms are not usable, so they're going to the other side of the island. What do you mean, Daw? I guess over that next peak that we didn't go up, how many bathrooms? Oh, so there's only 3 bathrooms on this part of the island where Newtie lives. On the other side, there's like about 300 or something. Oh, dear. Let's go up that peak. See if we go up this side of it. Lady Witchbeard, I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, it's not good. Why don't you set Nudie free, to go use the restroom in a social manner? Well, Nudie already went in my hand again. I wiped it on my pants. Okay, if we just clear this crest, if we crawl. Oh, goodness. Lady Witchbeard, there's like 30 ships there. I didn't realize there was a whole nother harbor on this side of the isthmus. We're on the other side of the isthmus. Yeah, Lady Witchbeard, there's a harbor there, and it looks like they're already collecting all the Newtie Poo. There's hundreds of people collecting Newtie Poo. And there's Brandy coming through alone. No cauldron. Okay, so what Brandy's going to supervise things. Where do you think that conqueror is? I don't know, Daw. I think we should go back. I'm assuming she'll return the cauldron and she keeps it on the ship or something. But we'll have to make our way down and get to the cauldron. First, we should get some rest, though, and all of us should, since we don't socially use the restroom, we should hydrate and use the restroom, and then we'll sneak back on that cauldron, and I'll try to come up with a plan with the two of you after we get some rest. How does that sound? Sounds good, Lady Witchbeard. Sounds good, Lady Witchbeard. Okay, yeah, let's get some rest. Okay, good. I want to thank her, but became a patron recently. Glitch, Clark, and Katie. Thanks, and good night. Jackie, Christina, and Sarah. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Jesse, Stephen, and Matthew. Thanks, and good night. Karen, Judy, and Katie. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Paul, Jillian, and Yvonne. Thanks, and good night. Tangle, Josh, and Christine. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Joe, Cheyenne, and Donna. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Laura, Dylan, and Janelle. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Alexandra, Sue, and Lee. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Anastasia, Carmen, and Spencer. Thanks, and good night. Jory, Kirsten, and Leonard. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Patricia, Ralph, and Melissa. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Katie, Kay, and Emily. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Katrina, Estelle, and Dan. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Maureen, Alexandra, and Bo. Thanks, and good night. Charles, Kelly, and Trevor. Thank you. Thanks, good night. Tamara, Pan, and Richard. Thanks, good night. Megan, Lex, and Sabrina. Thank you. Thanks, good night. Caroline, Sheila, and Catherine. Thank you. Thanks, good night. Melissa, Cheryl, and Amy. Thank you. Thanks, good night. Emma, Jen, thank you, thanks, and good night. And Sheila and Alexandra, thank you, thanks, and good night. Sleeping Me exists as a free podcast because people support the show either on Patreon or support our sponsors, and we grow as people just spreading the word naturally about the podcast, which I'll tell you a little bit more about right here.